that I think is very important to the LSA community. Jan calls global LSA. And really, while we're very excited about what's going on in the United States, and we hope that our efforts with LAMA Europe will convince EASA to back off of what they even call a top-down approach, as opposed to the bottom-up approach that FAA used in this country, the real magic in this entire thing is that LSA is and the standards which govern the certification of these airplanes can be adopted by any country in the world. It is already adopted by 12 countries, and an additional 30 countries are looking at this, and we believe in various stages of accepting this. And at some future date, I don't know how long it will take, it's possible that an LSA could be sold in any country, with some variations in each country perhaps, but to a common standard that allows a manufacturer to build an airplane and sell it anywhere in the world. And nothing less than that is our goal. That's quite ambitious for a very nascent industry and a very small organization like LAMA, but we have big ambitions in that regard. And with that in mind, one of the things that I would like to bring to your attention, I'm going to change the order of events here just a little bit, because since we are talking about international activities, I have a group of people here from China, and they are associated in a unique way. In the United States, we hear about public-private partnerships fairly often, where government and industry work together, and sometimes this is good and sometimes it's not so good. But I'm very encouraged by what I hear about this initiative from the Indus Aviation Company to work with people in China, and not in the way that you have classically heard. It's not buying things from China. It's not building a factory in China to get things done more inexpensively. In this case, it's an investment from China in a U.S. company. To give you a little bit more information about that, I'd like to introduce Scott Severin to come up, and he will in turn introduce the head of Indus Aviation. And there's more to be heard about this tomorrow. We're only going to give you a teaser now, but you can come and grab a free lunch tomorrow and hear a lot more. Scott, please come up and give us a little bit of information. Scott is the head of sales and marketing for Indus Aviation. Please welcome him.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks. And thanks, everyone, for coming out. Indus Aviation started in 1994 by our founder and owner, Ram Patisipu, in an effort to develop general aviation around the planet. Ram is an awesome visionary and has held on to this vision. In 2004, Ram acquired the production rights for the Torpedo light sport aircraft, actually for the Thorpe T211, which is a certified aircraft that was type certified in 1946, designed as a primary trainer. Ram saw this as a great opportunity to enter the light sport aircraft in America and have a primary training airplane that would be suitable for use around the planet. Ram came to the United States when he was 13, became an American citizen, and talk about a glutton for punishment. He earned his medical degree and got his pilot's license at the same time, and is quite proficient as both. So Ram has got some fascinating news, the result of 4 years of work and collaboration, not only in India and in China, that will affect not only light sport manufacturers in the United States and Indus and our friends in China, but will also impact global light sport aircraft as well. So without any further ado, Ram Patisipu has a few brief words about our press conference tomorrow at noon. My wife Margaret and I will be passing out cards and lunch tickets, so make sure and pick them up on the way out, and we'll see you tomorrow at 12. Ram?
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We don't want to give away everything that Scott said, because we really want everyone to come and be able to have a good 30 minutes, 45 minutes of time asking questions and finding out more about this. As you know, we've been, from the very beginning, involved in international operations, and we saw the opportunity for light sport aircraft, not just in America. We know this is a huge, huge event in America to have the LSA introduced. But you can imagine the rest of the world where general aviation is just a dream for most people. To get into aviation itself, we've just lowered the entry barrier, brought it down quite a bit with light sport aircraft, both with acquisition of aircraft and also learning to fly. So this vision was instrumental in us getting involved in India, where we've done quite a bit of work. And over the last 4 years, with the help of our great friend Francis Chow, Uniworld, USA and China, we've been able to meet some excellent opportunities in China, and met the government leaders of the city of Hunan and private industry investors who will briefly introduce to you here. And we formed a unique relationship, which I think will serve as a good model for other manufacturers who are contemplating going to places like India and China. They might have been afraid to go. We're not all Cessna. We don't have huge budgets to go out there and plunk down millions of dollars to put up a factory and do what we want. We have to have some relationships with people who do actual business and work in these countries, and have them help us grow. In these economic times, we found this to be a wonderful opportunity for us to not only just survive, but also succeed, build good things, and build them in large numbers. So tomorrow, we'd like to share the details of our interaction, of our relationship, and what it means for us, and what it could possibly mean for the rest of the industry, both here and overseas. Just as much as we want to grow, they want to grow as well. So it's a good opportunity for us to share what we have and bring LSA to a different level. I'll just briefly introduce you to Francis Chow so that you can speak with him. You want to stand up? Just Mr. Chow is based in California. He's started Uniworld, and he has done far more effectively some of the things that I've dreamt of doing in India, but he's done it in China. He's Mr. GA for China. Many of the governments there go to Mr. Chow for any kind of information resource related to general aviation. He conducts an annual GA forum in China. It's an excellent event. Anybody who wants to know about anything happening in general aviation should attend his forums or talk to him. He publishes the CCAR, the China Civil Aviation Report. It's a quarterly report full of information of all kinds of aviation activities. Without his kind of knowledge and work in the country, you would never be able to succeed in China, and that's my opinion. And we have the representatives from the city of Hunan, Mayor Gao, Assistant Mayor Gao, who's also been very instrumental in getting us going. And just to let you know, his city is a visionary in developing a major general aviation infrastructure in the central city of China. Some incredible facts you will know tomorrow about how China is actually not what you think it is. And there's a lot of opportunities for us at the grassroots levels to go ahead. And Mr. An, Ms. He are the company representative. Mr. An is the president of IPI, and Ms. He is the vice president. They're here also the first Oshkosh for them to come to and welcome all to share with you tomorrow what we're going to do. So I can't share much more than that. Thanks, Dan, for the opportunity to welcome all of you for lunch tomorrow and discussion and a little bit of interactive dialogue about what we've done, what we hope to do, and what anybody else who wants to do what we've done can also do. Thank you.
It's a big step back there. A couple of interesting facts, I think, about China that brought my alert up higher. 1 year ago, as we heard here, there was no airspace in China other than for military or airline use. That has already changed, and in fact, in the area that these gentlemen and people represent, they have now made a 10,000-foot ceiling for the operation of general aviation aircraft, and it's quite a new experiment in China, which the whole country will be watching to see how well they execute. So we're very pleased that our long LAMA member, Indus Aviation, is able to make these moves forward, and I think it's very exciting, and I welcome you all to their press conference tomorrow to hear more. The two facts that I think are very interesting about China that most Americans have what might be a distorted view of what's going on in China is that they think of it as a very poor country, and there may be a lot of very poor people, but the middle class in China numbers somewhere around 100 million, which is fairly close to the United States, and more Mercedes automobiles were sold in China in 2008 than any other country on the planet. It shows that there is the potential for aviation, and we welcome this development that Indus and their associates represent. I also mentioned public-private. This is public in the sense of the city of Hunan, I think I'm saying that correctly. Industry in the sense of the entrepreneurship from the IT company you were introduced to, and an American supplier of technology. And I think that's very interesting that they are joining together in this way.